You mentioned earlier how the fight against Galamsey will be no respecter of status in society or anybody at all. During your presentation with the CSOs,
yes.
You had mentioned that corruption was one of the stumbling blocks that the fight against Galamsey was facing. Who are the corrupt politicians you are having to face off with?
Well, I think that it is very well known that this canker that is eating us up as a country is being festering because people who have a lot of money, people who are well connected, are always trying to use the system, okay, including politicians. But this is the difference. I've said that the difference between the last 8 years and now is because, listen, I am the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources. That have been appointed by President Mahama. Mm-hmm. And I'm telling you,
right,
it is criminal. And I'm telling the Attorney General, and I'm telling everybody, mm-hmm, because that's what the President keeps telling me. Mm-hmm. Go and do the work, and don't be afraid of anybody. I'm translating that message to everybody in the chain, okay, that the stakes for our country's survival is not going to be compromised by anybody. So this is the political will that is driving this effort. And I'm saying that we are committed to it. We are committed to it across every barrier. And that is what gives me and the people who are working for us confidence. You must show leadership. You must show commitment. We must show the political will to fight this illegal mining. And as far as I'm concerned, we have that political will in the leadership that is being provided by President John Mahama.
Are there people in this government who are making your work difficult?
There have been allegations,
okay,
made, but I'm very happy that we were very swift in undertaking investigations. When allegations are made, people, mm-hmm, you have to make sure that they are investigated. That's why, for example, if allegations are made against, say, Wontome, you don't just go there. You take your time. You investigate. It took almost 5 months to investigate, for example, the findings on Akunta, for example. And so those allegations are made across board. And every time we find allegations, we will report it. And we will make sure they investigate. It doesn't matter who you are.
What has happened with the allegations that were made against the Awoin MP, who's a member of your party?
I believe that is a matter that is under investigation. I think where I sit, we do our job and I let others to do their job. Right. I've said, for example, the Ministry of Interior has a lot of role to play, mm-hmm, working with us in the prosecution and investigation. I said the Attorney General and the judiciary. I am very excited about the Attorney General's effort, working closely. For example, the Attorney General brought a new bill to Cabinet, mm-hmm, a new tribunal bill. That tribunal bill is heading straight to Parliament. And as part of that tribunal bill, it gives the flexibility for the Attorney General working with the Chief Justice, mm-hmm, to come up with strategic courts that are relevant to the issues of the day. And so, for example, I am very sure that when it's passed, a tribunal dedicated to prosecuting illegal mining is easily going to be established. That is very fundamental because we don't want that to be mixed up in that long chain. We must be swift. We must be clear that people who are engaged in that are being punished, so that we don't have the record that we had before where out of the so many people, only 4% were basically prosecuted. We want to have a different number. But I can tell you, I think that all these institutions, I talk about my collaboration with the Ministry of Transport and DVLA, yep, and excavators. We are going to continue with that. We just identified, I just had a meeting with the National Petroleum Authority. We are going to come out with something else there. We are going to find out everything that we have to do to stop this. For example, there are people who are sending empty drums to fuel stations to buy fuel. Where are they taking them to? They are taking them to go and do illegal mining. So we have identified it. And the MPAs, who is the regulator there, is soon going to come up with a program that says that you want to buy fuel? Okay, what's your licenses, your documentation?
Right.
And we will track that and make sure that we track it all the way to the sponsors. I have seen, for example, when you go to Takwa and other places, all sorts of galamsey and illegal activities and things are being sold. Where are they getting the licenses to sell them? We are working with the Ministry of Trade and Industry in that. So there's a lot of things that must be done if we are genuinely committed to this fight. You can look at the Ministry of Environment and say that Honorable Buah has a fight. Everybody is collectively responsible, and I think we are going to make sure we identify every institution. We've been talking a lot about water.
I mean, but
Ghana Water Commission, the Water Resource Commission. That's their role. We're going to be working with them to help us with.
I mean, so clearly, a lot of efforts are ongoing.
In fact, so many efforts. I think what has been the gap has been that we must continue to keep the people of Ghana along.